Oh no, she's done it again. Meghan Markle has just made the judge of Australian MasterChef, a household name, beloved figure in Australia, Poh Ling Yeow, cry.
There was a probe into whether Meghan was a bully or not. The results, from what I understand, were never released. This was a palace investigation, but one day it will be, because you can never bury this sort of stuff forever. So we'll find out what really happened behind closed doors.
So Meghan Markle's on-set request leaves beloved MasterChef Australian judge upset. Because Meghan seems to upset everyone. She can't go anywhere and just be normal.
If you ask a high school bully how was his high school experience, the bully will say, oh my God, it was the best time of my life. I love being in high school. They never outgrow high school, because when they get into the real world, things change. Except if you are unable to continue being a bully, like it is the case for Meghan Markle.
That Meghan can't stand anybody who outstrips her in any way, shape or form. She immediately had her competitive vibes and antennae up, and she was about to annihilate Poh and did everything she could to sort of discomfit her.
Meghan is nasty, absolutely nasty, and she can't help herself, because even look at this. So one of the MasterChef judges on the show, Poh Ling Yeow, she was reportedly left upset.
Poh Ling Yeow left in tears after Meghan Markle's bullying on MasterChef Australia, which started as a simple, warm compliment from one of Australia's most loved judges, quickly turned into a moment so uncomfortable that reports say Poh broke down on set. She wanted to apologize immediately, but was told to stay away. Footage was quietly removed, and once again, Meghan walked away while someone else was left crying.
If you ask the bullied, they will tell you that it was the most traumatic and shocking experience of their lives, and they never want to go back to high school. It's a traumatic thing.
Again, the problem with Meghan is that she's so constrained. She's so controlling. She can't be normal.
I hated that woman who introduced her, Poh. And Poh is actually a big name in Australia. She's beloved. She came through MasterChef. So she started off as a contestant. She's now a judge, really beloved in Australia. So obviously Meghan decided to hate her and decide that she's a real bitch.
The headlines exploded before most people had even seen the episode. Meghan Markle arrived on MasterChef Australia as a celebrity guest, expecting a polished television moment. Instead, the conversation quickly shifted away from the food and onto what reportedly happened when the cameras were rolling. According to multiple reports, one moment changed the entire atmosphere. Beloved judge Poh Ling Yeow warmly referred to Meghan as MasterChef royalty, a compliment most guests would probably laugh off.
MasterChef Australia, the Duchess of Sussex. Oh my God. No. Meghan Markle!
But reports claim parts of the interaction were gone. That immediately raised a bigger question. If nothing important happened, why edit around it at all? Viewers weren't talking about the recipes or the challenge anymore. They were asking what they weren't allowed to see. And that's when the story stopped being about a cooking competition. It became another debate about image, control, and what happens when the polished version shown on television doesn't match the reports coming from behind the scenes.
Again, from the bully's point of view, everything is hunky-dory. From the bullied point of view, they're like, hell's no. So it's no wonder that now, with this article that came out, Meghan Markle claps back and says that she doesn't understand why the judge Poh would be upset. She had a wonderful experience, never from the point of view of the bullied, because she's only thinking of herself.
Meghan Markle may have thought her appearance on Australian MasterChef would help, propel her image as a chef, and yet somehow the appearance has turned into master mess.
I'm really excited. It's my love language. Oh God, it's so vomit inducing. I've never known anybody to be so fake. Paris Hilton, when she was, Paris Hilton, the fake Paris Hilton, then we learned many years later she's not actually dumb. She is just nails down a chalkboard for me, because there's nothing about her that's real. Every time you see her do a speech, every time you see an appearance from her, she's a completely different personality. And
maybe it really was just an awkward moment that snowballed into headlines. But if this was just one awkward moment, why does it sound so familiar?
And then came the detail that made people stop and look twice.
choice. The challenge itself was called a dish fit for a duchess.
And she totally castigated Poh behind the scenes for having introduced her as royalty. But this is nuts, Meghan, because, you know, the whole concept of Meghan's guest appearance was framed around the idea of a dish fit for a duchess.
That title was front and center, yet reports claimed the word royalty had suddenly become a problem only moments earlier. That contradiction spread online fast because people already know the branding. Meghan still uses Duchess of Sussex in business projects, interviews, media coverage, and public appearances, so viewers immediately ask the obvious question: when is the title welcome and when is it not?
She couldn't just accept, okay, there was some bad behavior, Poh ended up upset. No. She has had to turn this now into an international omni-shambles, with her people immediately rushing to one of her favorite publications, page 6, in the New York Post, and insisting that Poh was wrong to be upset.
Well, the Duchess of Fame and Fortune has made her long-awaited appearance on the Australian version of MasterChef. And we are going to watch clips from this sick, bizarre love fest. Everything was just wrong about it.
And that is where image and reality started colliding. For years, Meghan has sold a very specific picture: the relaxed hostess, the effortless entertainer, the woman who brings warmth into every room. That is the lifestyle brand. But the reports coming out of the MasterChef set painted a very different atmosphere: awkwardness, tension, and people walking carefully around a simple comment. The problem was not one word. The problem was the gap between the image being presented and the experience people were reportedly describing. And once viewers notice a contradiction, they start looking for more, because the contradiction isn't actually the biggest problem. The people in that kitchen reportedly reacted in a way that tells a much bigger story.
Let's not forget that Meghan Markle has a well-established track record of bullying. She thought nothing of bullying Princess Charlotte, a 3-year-old little girl. She thought that character building. But when it comes and it's flipped on her, it's like, how dare you call me out for bullying somebody? Because in her mind, like all bullies, it's acceptable to harm others and never get called out for it.
This is where the story became harder to ignore. Contestants were turning to the actual judges for advice rather than Meghan, and honestly, that is not surprising. MasterChef is built around expertise, personality, and genuine connection. People naturally gravitate toward those who feel authentic, and Poh Ling Yeow has that in abundance. She is warm, relaxed, funny, and widely loved in Australia. She does not need to demand attention because people give it to her naturally. That creates an interesting contrast. Celebrity can attract cameras, but authenticity attracts people, and viewers notice that immediately.
But yeah, she's just so unbelievably fake. As I said, I've said this before, if she was chocolate, she'd eat herself. But yeah, I don't know, Dan. Are you going to watch it? Because
I mean, do you know what?
Reality competition shows are difficult places to control an image because there are contestants, judges, producers, camera operators, and crew members all sharing the same space. Too many people see what happens. Too many moments cannot be scripted. That is why chemistry matters. And according to the reports, something felt off. The awkwardness wasn't hidden. It actually became more noticeable because of what viewers did see and because of what viewers believe they did not. And that's where the editing itself becomes part of the story.
She put out herself, never once addresses or considers the possibility that Judge Poh from MasterChef could be right. Never once does she consider, you know what, maybe I may have done some things that could have been construed as not so nice. Because if they have to edit the hell out of a show because of personality mismatch, things are not good.
By the time the episode aired, another part of the story had taken over online. It wasn't just what viewers watched, it was what many believed they didn't. Reports claimed parts of Meghan's appearance had been removed from the final edit. Whether that was simply routine television editing or an attempt to smooth over an uncomfortable moment quickly became part of the debate. Some reports pointed to personality differences. Others argued producers were simply keeping the episode focused on the competition. But television edits often have an unintended effect. The more people hear that footage was cut, the more they wonder what was left on the editing room floor.
Meghan goes directly against the agreement that Queen Elizabeth II made with Meghan Markle, because you'll remember the Sandringham Summit was absolutely adamant in the fact that Meghan was not able to commercialize aspects of the British royal family. Yet my understanding...
Fans began replaying clips, comparing promotional material with the broadcast, and discussing whether certain interactions appeared shorter or more abrupt than expected. Social media did what it always does. It filled the gaps with theories, reactions, and frame-by-frame analysis. Ironically, removing or shortening a scene can sometimes create more attention than leaving it in. Instead of ending the conversation, it becomes the conversation. And once viewers start questioning one decision, they often begin questioning everything surrounding it. That's why this story grew far beyond a cooking competition. The focus shifted from recipes and contestants to image, perception, and how public appearances are managed when unexpected moments become the headline. This isn't the first time image management has become part of the conversation, because if you followed Meghan's public career, you've probably heard this pattern before.
So many things that are so wrong with the world. One of them is being Meghan Markle not being aware that she's a bully, because so far she has been able to get away with it. The press absolutely just ignoring the fact of how she treated her own father.
One reason this MasterChef story attracted so much attention is that many people immediately compared it with earlier controversies that have surrounded Meghan's public life. Over the years, there have been widely reported allegations involving former palace staff, claims of workplace tensions, and reports that some employees had difficult experiences. Those allegations have received extensive media coverage, while Meghan has denied bullying allegations through her representatives, and many details remain disputed.
He had a lot of information that Meghan, almost as soon as she arrived, well, she put her foot in the door more likely, she started bullying everyone. And she did it because she wanted to make herself important, I think. And she was absolutely vile. She would ring up, send them an email at 5 a.m.
Prince Harry has consistently defended his wife in public, arguing that much of the criticism directed at her has been unfair or distorted. Supporters see a media narrative that follows the couple wherever they go. Critics see recurring stories that raise similar questions in different settings. That's how patterns form in the public mind. People naturally connect new headlines with older ones, even when the circumstances are completely different. They ask whether the latest story fits a broader narrative they've already been following. That doesn't prove every claim is true, but it does explain why each new controversy receives so much attention. For many viewers, the MasterChef reports weren't being judged in isolation. They were being viewed alongside years of previous headlines, interviews, documentaries, and public debates. Whether that comparison is fair or not, it has become part of the conversation, which brings us back to the image Meghan has spent years trying to build.
How she treated her own father. If you really look at all the newspapers, there's nothing there. They really don't go hard on her. Of a man who gave Meghan Markle everything she is today. Because without Mr. Markle, she would have never had the opportunities she enjoys now.
The MasterChef reports landed at an awkward time because they collided with the image Meghan has been trying to build for years. Her lifestyle brand is centered on hospitality, entertaining, and making cooking feel effortless. But that image has faced its own challenges. Her Netflix cooking series received mixed to negative reviews from many critics, and it struggled to become the breakout hit supporters had hoped for. Despite that, Netflix renewed it for another season, keeping the conversation alive. The show also sparked online comparisons to established lifestyle personalities like Martha Stewart and Pamela Anderson. Some commentators argued certain ideas felt familiar. Martha Stewart herself did not publicly engage with those claims.
What is it like to watch other celebrities, Gwyneth Paltrow, Meghan Markle, going in your footsteps and following something that you've really started?
I don't mind. Good luck. And Gwyneth's been very successful, by the way. I think she's created quite an interesting body of businesses. She's a fantastic. She won an Oscar, for heaven's sake, as an actress. She's pretty powerful. Meghan, I don't really know very well. I hope she knows what she's talking about. Authenticity to me is everything, and to be authentic and knowledgeable about your subject matter is extremely important.
Then there was the advice, cook from the heart. It's a simple message, but critics questioned whether it matched reports that professional chefs helped behind the scenes with recipe development and production, something that is common across many cooking shows. That is why this debate goes beyond recipes. Supporters see an aspirational lifestyle brand. Critics see a carefully produced image that doesn't always feel authentic, and once that perception takes hold, every new appearance gets viewed through the same lens. Yet every controversy seems to be followed by the same response, and that's when the public relations machine appears to kick into gear.
Reporting out of Australia was that Meghan had invited herself onto MasterChef Australia as a guest. Most of us learn as very small children by our parents. If we were raised right, you don't invite yourself to places you have not been invited to. It's not just etiquette, it goes to self-respect.
Almost as quickly as the MasterChef reports spread, attention shifted somewhere else. New magazine features appeared. Family photographs on Instagram generated fresh headlines. Commentators noticed the timing because those posts arrived while discussion about the television appearance was still dominating social media. Some also pointed out that one photo coincided with another royal birthday, while an Althorpe image became part of the wider online conversation. Supporters argue that's simply how media cycles work. Public figures continue posting, interviews continue running, and not every coincidence is part of a strategy.
All of these pictures have a particular meaning. All of them are designed to clap back at certain elements of our coverage over the past few weeks. She knows exactly what she's doing here, including the weird cosplaying of Princess Diana and the even weirder decision to try and overshadow Prince George's 13th birthday with new pictures of Archie. So all of
Critics see it differently. They argue that positive stories often arrive just as negative headlines begin gaining traction, creating a new conversation before the previous one has finished. Whether that's deliberate planning or simply the rhythm of modern publicity is something people continue to debate. Either way, the effect is similar. Instead of focusing only on MasterChef, the discussion expands to public image, media strategy, and how celebrities respond when criticism dominates the news cycle. Whether intentional or not, the timing only encouraged people to revisit everything that happened on MasterChef.
Are you telling me that Meghan Markle, who loves to remind people that she's ranked above everybody else in her mind, would have an issue with Judge Poh saying, we have royalty in the house, because that's how Meghan sees herself? I don't think that's where it comes from.
What makes this story stick isn't just one television appearance. It's how quickly it became part of a much bigger conversation. Poh Ling Yeow is widely respected in Australia, so any report involving her naturally drew attention. From there, the story spread internationally as viewers debated the reported editing, the royalty comment, the Duchess branding, the on-set dynamics, and how all of it fit alongside Meghan's existing public image. Supporters argue the incident has been overblown.
I'm Sussex now. You know I'm Sussex now. You know I'm Sussex now. You know I'm Sussex now.
So one would think, okay, that was relatively recently, right? That was within the past years. So she's Meghan Sussex, right? We're supposed to call her Sussex. Meghan Sussex? Let's take a look.
Do we call you Duchess? Oh, call me Meghan. Absolutely.
I'm just Meghan. I'm just Meghan. Now remember, Meghan allegedly, reportedly invited herself to appear on MasterChef.
Critics see it as another example of the gap they believe exists between a carefully managed public image and behind-the-scenes reports. Whatever your view, the discussion has clearly extended far beyond a cooking competition. Instead of being remembered for the recipes, MasterChef Australia became another chapter in the ongoing debate surrounding Meghan Markle's public image. So now the question isn't whether people noticed, it's whether this latest controversy changes how the public sees Meghan Markle going forward. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the reported editing made this story bigger than it would have been otherwise? Or do you think the entire controversy has been blown out of proportion? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. This is Jane Exposé, and I'll be here covering the next royal headline, the next media twist, and the next Harry and Meghan drama. Until next time, thanks for watching.